the fight? If not, I think it's maybe time to do the right thing.
You've got the Twin Towers on your lapel.
Yeah.
A lot of young men and women are fighting overseas because of that horrific event and all of the events that unfolded after September 11th. Are you concerned that Janet Napolitano's report that came out yesterday from the Department of Homeland Security told police officers they needed to be wary of veterans returning home, possibly being recruited? That these, and again, I'm more concerned about, what does that say, a 20-year-old kid from Ithaca, New York, that's fighting in Iraq now, risking his life for this country, hearing that when he comes back, he's a member of a suspect class.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about a mindset here. Janet Napolitano testified before the Homeland Security Committee several weeks ago, never once mentioned the word terrorism. Nowhere in her statement was the word terrorism. When I questioned her on that, she basically said she didn't want to use the word terrorist, even talking about Al-Qaeda or bin Laden. We cannot use the word terrorist.
Certainly so she doesn't use terrorists for Al-Qaeda or bin Laden, but does for our
troops. And that's the point. And they made a point of saying that this just generates fear, it generates hysteria, and we shouldn't use the word terrorist. So who would they use it for? Returning veterans and pro-life demonstrators. Now, if we want to get into that, we can talk about Bill Ayers, you can talk about Reverend Wright, you can bring up all that stuff. And to put that in the context of a police director, and this is going out to police departments all over the country, and you can't say look out for Islamic terrorists, you can't say look out for 9/11 type terrorists, but you can say look out for potential terrorists from returning soldiers, returning GIs, or pro-life demonstrators. It really shows a mindset, which I'm concerned about it.
Well, mindset also when you're talking about veterans. Yeah, again, let's talk about that 19-year-old kid in Ithaca, New York, fighting in Iraq right now in Anbar province. He hears that the federal government is now telling police departments to be wary that veterans may be recruited, and also comparing to Timothy McVeigh, and also knows that the commander-in-chief tried to make them pay for an injury sustained over in Iraq with the third-party insurers. Again, it's this mindset that concerns me. I don't think Barack Obama doesn't love veterans, doesn't salute veterans, but it's this mindset. I think maybe this insensitivity to just how much they're sacrificing.
Yeah, and I'm giving President Obama a pass on this for now. I think this was people in the Department of Homeland Security, which is why I am asking Benny Thompson, I give a lot of credit for the letter he sent to Secretary of the Department, but I'm asking Benny to hold a full committee hearing as to what's the genesis of this? What prompted them to start targeting veterans? I mean, again, these men and women are fighting, putting their lives on the line. We said we'd never repeat Vietnam as far as how we treat returning veterans, and we're doing it now.
Right.
She actually addressed the question on our show this morning. We were allowed to ask one. She's in Mexico on other issues, and we needed to cover that as well. But here's what she said.
These are routine intelligence assessments that are made for state and local law enforcement. They're for situational awareness. They're not accusatory and are meant to be accusatory. The last thing we want to do at the Department of Homeland Security is infringe on anyone's constitutional or civil rights. I think everybody needs to take a deep breath. I think there was a lot of Washington spin going on yesterday about this report, but all it was saying is, look, there's a constant and constantly changing threat environment in the United States. Our job is to protect against terrorism, whether it comes from abroad or internally.
Was that enough? What do you make of that as a response to the concern that we put out there?
You're only allowed to ask me one question. Seriously, on that, first of all, her answer was totally disingenuous. That department and she has never put out a report talking about look out for mosques, look out for Islamic terrorists in our country, look out for the fact that very few Muslims come forward to cooperate with the police. If they had sent out a report saying that, they'd be held to pay. The New York Times, everybody would be screaming. But instead, she sent this to the police around the country, and she talks about intelligence. There's no intelligence saying we have to worry about veterans. Anyway, you have to worry about anybody else coming back, or anyone else, any college student, or you said John Wilkes Booth being an actor, or people who are angry. There's always angry people out there. But to send out an official Department of Homeland Security report to local police indicates there's something there, and there is not. And she knows that.
I want to know what.
And again, the concern is what type of impact does this have on troops?
It has to be demoralizing. It has to be demoralizing.
It has to be demoralizing.
Absolutely.
They have to be thinking, I'm risking my life over here, and I'm staying away from my wife and kids, or my husband and kids, my job, and my own government tells me to go out and kill terrorists, and then because they gave me the training to do that, now say I'm in a suspect class that right-wing extremists may focus on me.
I characterize it differently, but I understand how you see it.
It's the
that
same
way.
impact on that young fighter overseas.
Well, I'll tell you.